Good evening, I'm Gabe Caggiano, and this is a special edition of Inside Nantucket. Tonight, Scotty Thompson. Just about everybody on the island knows Scotty Thompson, and everybody I talk to likes Scotty Thompson. A few weeks ago, she was diagnosed with cancer, advanced. And tonight at the Rosencrown, her friends have gathered to help raise money to help offset rising medical costs. Scotty Thompson is facing a grave medical crisis, but it is clear she is not facing this crisis alone. She looks pretty fabulous, doesn't she? Scotty Thompson was absolutely glowing at the benefit for her at the Rosencrown, and she had good reason to be. Hundreds of friends and family turned out to show their support, emotionally and financially. Everyone knows the road ahead for Scotty is going to be a hard one, but this was not an evening for self-pity or sorrow, just the opposite.
I think this is a fantastic idea for one of Nantucket's most beloved people, and this is an example of how the island comes together to help somebody out.
You know, in Nantucket, everybody turns out for stuff like this. It's a great thing about this community. People rally for people in need.
When we found out she was sick, we decided that we wanted to do something, and we thought of many different ideas, and we just got a group of people together that had some good drive and focus, and we did it, and I thought it came out absolutely amazing.
So far, the donation total is north of $50,000 and counting to help offset medical and other expenses. There's an old saying, if you can count your good friends on one hand, you are a wealthy person. In that context, Scotty Thompson is filthy rich.
And I cannot even begin to tell you the wave of love and energy that I have felt for the last 6 weeks.
And joining me right now is the lady of the hour, Scotty Thompson. Thank you very much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Scotty, that was an amazing night, Saturday night. You've had a couple of days to reflect upon it. What's going through your mind?
It was phenomenal. It was like so much more than I expected.
You've got a lot of friends.
Yeah, it was incredible energy, and you know, it just keeps going through my head, just the different people that I saw and things that were said to me and things that were shared and things that people did and donated, and you know, I sat down with a couple of the organizers, and they just told me some of the background stories, and it was definitely the best party I've ever been to in my life.
How many people do you think showed up?
I don't know.
300
I don't know.
at least.
So 300. I heard 300, 400. It was wall to wall. It went on till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Did you know that you had that many friends? And now, where does the donation total stand right now, if you can tell me that?
Oh, I don't really know.
I've heard north of 50,000. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I think it really exceeded anyone's expectations. So this community's amazing in that respect.
I've got a few tough questions for you, and I just want the audience to know that we've gone over some of the parameters before, so there should be no surprises. What exactly are you fighting, and where do you stand in that fight?
I'm fighting stage 4 cancer, which means that the cancer's in a number of areas in my body. And I was diagnosed 6 weeks ago, and originally they thought it was pancreatic cancer with also cancer in the lungs. And I'm working with 3 major hospitals in Boston, Beth Israel, Mass General, and now Dana-Farber. And they did a lot of biopsies and a lot of tests, and have now come to the conclusion that it's not pancreatic cancer, that it is leiomyosarcoma, and that the cancer started in the soft tissue of one of my major arteries. Leiomyosarcomas can be fairly aggressive. There can be all different varieties of them. And at this point right now, they're not sure if I have a fast-moving or rapid-moving cancer.
This is a little bit better news than I heard
Originally.
Yeah.
It's because pancreatic cancer has an extremely low survival rate. It's less than 5%. And so when I got that diagnosis, myself, my family, you know, those were the odds we were looking at. they were pretty black and white. And with this cancer, I mean, basically what they're telling me is I have a very rare cancer. I asked the oncologist at Beth Israel how many times she had seen this cancer, and she just kind of chuckled and she said in her 22 years, never. So we don't really know the odds. We don't really know the odds, and soft tissue cancers can really run the gamut. So in that sense, it's good news. It is still a stage 4 cancer, and stage 4 cancers average anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Do you care about statistics? You are you.
Yeah.
And everybody on the island knows that you are a competitor,
Yeah.
that you're a woman of tremendous personal and mental strength.
Right.
How much does that benefit you in this tough fight?
Yeah. You know, I guess I've always thought that I was different, and you know, a lot of the studies that are done, like the pancreatic study that was done that determined that 5%, the median age was 70 years old, and I'm 57, and I'm a healthy, strong 57, and so I just don't think I'm going anywhere. I mean, sometimes some of this travel and some of these diagnoses and a lot of these tests, they really beat me down. Mm-hmm. But I just, I think that I'm the exception to the rule, and I don't think it's my time to go. And I think that
you're going to fight.
I'm determined. Yeah, I'm determined.
What's the next step over the next 30 days? Can you tell me that?
We're you know, I was diagnosed 6 weeks ago, and we are still in the search phase. We're really trying to get a firm diagnosis, and we're trying to get a firm game plan from Western medicine. And so we don't have a clear plan of action yet. I think you know, once we get the word exactly what kind of cancer they think it is and exactly how they want to treat it, then we go into treatment phase.
So you're still listening to consultations and deciding what's the best approach.
Yeah.
You know, we're at Christmas time right now, and again, you had a ton of friends show up. You're with your family. What's the holidays? What are the holidays like for you this year?
Everything's different. Everything's different. You know, like the light on Nantucket. You know, sometimes in the morning, like the light on Nantucket, and just trees and the water and people. Everything's different once something like this happens to you. And I don't know. I just think Christmas is like, I've always loved it. I've always loved holidays. They were always wonderful for me as a child, and I just, I'm just loving this time of year. I'm loving, you know, the giving, the I don't know, the festivity, the every part of it, and everything is just heightened for me.
You know, one thing I don't hear in your voice, I don't hear bitterness, I don't hear anger. Beneath all your words is a degree of serenity, a disciplined, calm serenity. But you must be angry. Are you, or are you just not directing your energies towards that, or bitterness?
Well, I think I'm human, and sometimes when I get tough news, my first reaction is tears, and then my what seems to follow is some anger, and then I settle down. And right away, the first thing that happened for me was that there was a certain surrender, like the universe and God, you know, that God has a plan for me. Either I'm coming or I'm going, and it's happening for a reason, and I don't need to know why it's happening. You know, maybe it's to help you change, or maybe it's to help the girl down the street change, and maybe it's not so much about me. And I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And so there's a certain amount of surrender. And I run the gamut of emotions, but mostly I'm pretty peaceful with it. I'm pretty peaceful.
Where does faith come in helping you fight this and stay together?
I have a lot of faith, and I'll be honest with you, I I don't think this is my only life. And that makes things easier for me. You know, this isn't my one big shot at glory. This is just a flash in the pan. And so that helps me a lot. And I do. I have a lot of faith in God. I have faith that He's got a plan. And I don't need to run the show. And so I can just put one foot in front of the other and do my best every day and not get lost in why it happened or what's going to happen in the future. And boy, it helps me tremendously.
You know, it sounds like that must, because we were speaking before the interview, and there were a lot of misdiagnoses about this condition. In fact, one of the doctors you told me said, well, you need to see a psychiatrist, that this was all in your head. You get angry about that, that maybe you could have been ahead of the curve in June rather than in December?
What happened for me is, as an athlete, you know, whenever I did any kind of aggressive athletic activity, like it started with running, I would get partway through the run and start to feel really sick. And so if I wasn't an athlete, maybe I would have never had any symptoms. You know, it's when I got my heart rate up. So I started searching for an answer to this a year ago. I started last January, and I saw 6 doctors, and then finally in October I went to Dr. Lepre and said, could you please do a CAT scan? Something's very wrong with me. And they found the cancer. And yes, I say to myself, wow, what would it be like if the very first doctor I went to had said, let's do a CAT scan? But you know, I also went through phases where I was like, well, what if I had only eaten organic meat? And what if I had done this? And what if I had done that? Would this be a different story? And it's the past.
Do they have any idea how this cancer may have begun?
No, the feeling is that this cancer, I've had this cancer for a long time. Like I could.
What's a long time?
It could be 10 years.
Really?
That the tumor that's wrapped around my pancreas and the tumor that's wrapped around my pancreas could have begun 10 years ago. They don't know for sure, but that tumor is fairly slow growing. There's lesions on my liver and now small lesions on my lungs, and those are moving rather rapidly.
So in this fight, just to wrap this up, how important has this island been to you and the friends that have really come out sincerely to be at your side?
Yeah, you know, I was in the restaurant business, and 14 years ago, I, for the first time, really I joined a health club, and it really changed my life. And I became a trainer, and I started with people, working with people one-on-one, and I, for the first time in my life, really felt like I was really making a big difference in people's lives. You know, I was really knowing people's lives and helping them with much more than just bicep curls. And I had no idea. I had no idea how many lives I had touched until, I mean, whoever gets a chance in their life to have all the people collected in one room that you made a difference for. And that's what happened to me on Saturday. And I think this island is phenomenal. This island, I don't know, is it because it's the Gray Lady? Is it because we're out at sea? Is it because of its history? But they really rally. This island rallies when someone's in need. And to be the center of that has been a phenomenal experience.
And this may give you an opportunity as well to interact with people that are facing a similar crisis.
Yeah. I don't know what my role is in this. Maybe it's to teach more. Maybe it's to help more.
Well, listen, we certainly wish you the best of luck. You'll be in our prayers, and
Thanks,
we hope
Gabe.
that you come back and visit with us on the show and keep us updated on your progress.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
And that's it for Inside Nantucket for tonight. We wish everyone a happy holidays. For everyone here, I'm Gabe Caggiano. Good night.